Mario Kart Tour has just released on mobile platforms, and if you're lucky enough, you might even be able to pull up a little Toad out of the warp pipe there. Hello, Toad. That's weird of you, Eric. Anyway, Nat and I had an interesting discussion this week about the game and what we thought about the microtransactions, how well it's been selling, and just what we liked about the game. So take a listen, see what you think, and also just know that at one point I make it sound like there's a clear divide between console gamers and mobile gamers. There's no such clear divide. Yeah! I think you'll get the point anyway. Maybe, I don't even know. Oh, and let me know what you think about Mario Kart Tour. Have you been playing it? Do you like it? Do you like the transactions? Let me know down below and enjoy the video. So the easiest way for me to look at this, when I sit back and I'm like, all right, let's look at everything we got here, and do you think it's a good or bad thing, and are you annoyed by it? I think that if this is same experience, is the easiest way for my head to go, all right, I understand this, is to say, if this same experience that we've got here, if that was on Switch, would you be upset by it? Would that same, if this was Mario Kart Tour on Switch, here's a new Mario Kart game, maybe you're still getting 9 in the future, but this is what you're getting for now. Would you like it, and would it be annoying to you? Like, considering that at that point I'd probably have the controller controls.
So is it still going to have like the microtransactions? And
Yeah,
all that
so
sort of
and that's
stuff
what
in
I'm saying.
it?
Like, that's probably the best read for me to say, would I be annoyed by the microtransactions if that was the case? If like I had these transactions in there, I think what it would come down to is that I wouldn't spend money on it still.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, sorry now, I'll let you go.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just going to say, with mobile games, I'm not the type of person who would ever spend money in them. I don't see the point. I feel like, well, if I want to unlock things, I'll just do the races and I'll just, get the rubies and things that way. But I'm not actually going to go out of my way and spend money to buy them. Yeah,
and that's exactly how I feel. Like, I wouldn't spend money on this. I think this has come down to mobile gamers have made their bed. And they're laying in it at the moment. They wanted this, And so, like, don't complain about it. If you're a console gamer and you're complaining about it, you were probably never interested in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the thing. Is that, like, me and you, I'm not interested in the first place. And if you brought that over to consoles, I wouldn't want it either. But for mobile gaming experiences, I don't think it's a bad thing, because that's what mobile gamers want. It may not be what I want, it may not be what you want, but that's what mobile gamers want. They tried Mario Run. They had a $10 Mario experience they could buy. Sure, they could have been $5. Sure, whatever. But you chose the mobile gaming market chose, I shouldn't say you because it's targeting individuals.
Yeah.
The mobile gaming market chose they didn't want that model. Now that's what they get.
Which, for me, that's actually the way I preferred. I would much rather pay the $5-10 and then that's it. You don't have to pay for anything else. Everything in the game's unlocked. It's not...
And actually, to say that, I don't care about unlocking stuff. I don't care, and especially if you paid that one-off fee, I feel like at that point, slowly unlocking things makes sense. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you don't have to actually go out and pay for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you don't have to pay for them, you're right.
Yeah, like, example, in Mario Kart Tour, like, if you want Pauline, so you have to use your rubies to try and get her to come out of the pipe.
Yeah.
And there's like 100 items in this pipe, and it costs 5 rubies every time to try it. So they give you 20 to begin with, so you get 4 tries. So, and there's a 100 chance, like a 1 in 100 chance to get Pauline.
This is a good point that you're making here, Nat.
It's like, well, it's basically saying, if you want her, you're going to have to pay for rubies now to keep trying to get her out of the pipe.
The reason I say this is a good point you're making here is because the whole idea behind my argument was that, you've made your bed, you lay on it. That doesn't mean they're good transactions. That doesn't mean that, you're not spending a lot of money and they're not lowering those chances down to ridiculous amounts to actually get stuff. Now, I haven't played enough of the game to say you have to play a ridiculous amount to unlock stuff yet.
Yeah.
But by looking at the percent chances it actually takes to unlock certain things, makes me kind of go, oh, okay, there's an 0.3% chance to get these bunch of different items. How long is it actually going to take me to grind these out if I wanted to do that in game?
And especially as these tours are only around for 2 weeks at a time. So it's not like you'd be like, oh, well, if I have to wait 6 months before I get it, fine, so be it. It's like you only have 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think what this all comes down to, though, Nat, is that I wouldn't spend money in this. I hope that you would be able to earn all this over time, but it's only something that over time people will see if they like. It's doing really well, though.
Oh, it is. It's doing super well.
Like, as far as downloads go, so the first day of downloads was like 20 million downloads.
That's a huge number.
Which, like, in comparison, the next one behind that was Mario Run, which had 7, and then we drop all that down to 2. I think it was around 2 million for Fire Emblem.
Wow,
yeah.
that's a huge jump.
That's for first day downloads. Now, revenue, on the other hand, Nat, that's a completely different ballpark here.
Yeah.
We're knocking into a different ballpark because Fire Emblem earned 4 times the amount that Mario Kart Tour has.
Yeah, but
the first day, sorry.
I think, yeah, like you pointed out, a huge part of that is because you're not paying for that gold pass yet.
2 weeks from now, Nat, we're going to know how big a deal this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Nintendo is actually very smart waiting so long to put this out on mobile. You know why? Because Mario Kart is their biggest IP out there.
Definitely.
That's their biggest, their best-selling IP.
Yeah.
And if they had to run out the door, like run out the gate with this, instead of running out the door with Mario Run, they wouldn't have had time to assess what works on mobile. Now that they've had these bunch of different things they've thrown out there into the pool, they know what things look like, they know what works, and I think that they know that this model works and it's going to make a bunch of money for them. And so we'll see what happens here, but I have a feeling this is going to be very profitable, even if at the first stage there's a lot of haysayers about the transactions, which, like, mind you, again, I want to point out that I don't I'm not a fan of the transactions, but I'm not making a comment on whether they're worth it or not because I don't know.
No, exactly. That's for the individual to decide.
Yeah, and there's people who... We should talk about that a little bit more here. And I did want to mention to you multiplayer, because multiplayer isn't in at launch, which is a huge missed opportunity if you ask me. Like, that's a big boat they've missed. I think if they had this from launch, a lot of people would have played it and then got their friends to play it, which is what we saw was like, playing Pokemon Go, people were playing, obviously they weren't versing each other, but everyone was getting into it because everyone was like just going out, hunting Pokemon together, doing different things like that.
Hunting Pokemon?
Catching? Catching Pokemon. So going out and catching Pokemon together, it turned into a big thing. Now, Mario Kart is, because it's such a solidarity experience at the moment, I think they missed the boat here by bringing, like, again, they'll be good later on when we can just get a bunch of, you get a bunch of friends together. I almost feel like if my friends got back into this and they're like, hey, we're all playing Mario Kart Tour together, I might dive in and just play a little bit with them. Like, I don't see a problem with that. I think that would be a little bit of fun. And I think that's a kind of a missed opportunity of people bringing their phones into the office and being like, which I'm sure it's doing well at the start, but I feel like it'd do better if people were bringing their phones into the office and they're like, hey, look, Bob from marketing's playing Mario Kart. And guess what? Elaine from telemarketing, the same type of thing, is also playing. And now we can all play together with Ian from Digimarketing.
Yeah, all right, maybe we should stop with that. Yeah. But no, I do understand what you mean. But Nintendo do seem to be very behind with their multiplayer and actually being able to play with your friends. I mean, look at Mario Maker; they still haven't even brought that in yet. So
yeah, I agree. Also, we just proved how little I know about like office culture.
That's why I thought I should probably stop you.
Get me out of there, Nat. Any closing thoughts on Mario?
Well, I think I was about to say Mario Maker. Mario Kart, even when multiplayer comes in, I don't think that's going to be enough to entice me. I mean, like I said, it was okay, but I just found the game very simple. I mean, you automatically drive.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same. It'll be enough to entice me for another throwaway experience. It'd be enough to get me back in. I'll play it with you guys. Sure, let's have a little bit of fun. All right, boom. I'll never see it again.
Yeah, I just feel like, did you find it was simple? Like, just the fact that, it just automatically drives for you. When you jump over a jump, it automatically does a trick for you. You can't fall off the edge. You can't veer onto the grass. It just seemed very basic, very simple.
It's just that's what it is. It's a dulled down Mario Kart experience.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. There was a couple of things that I thought was cool. Like, just the fact that it actually showed you who hit you. So if you get hit by a shell, it showed you what character hit you. If you hit a banana, you see who laid it.
I did like that, because that actually kind of reminded me, because we were playing battle mode last night with the Patreons. It did actually remind me, that's kind of what happens in battle mode in that, but not in the main mode, which is a little bit weird. I kind of wish that you could see who hit you in the main mode as well. Yeah.
I also liked about the game that when someone used the squid, you could actually, because it's a touchscreen, you could actually wipe the ink off the screen with your finger.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Instead of having to wait for it to disappear, you'd be like, just clean it off myself. So it definitely had a few good features about it.
Yeah, it's got a few things I'd like to see come over. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the end screen. Just a quick update to let you know that I have been away for the past few days because I had to take a break from the computer. I couldn't look at the computer screen. I have a couple of eye conditions that you guys might know of. Turns out I went to the specialist because I have another one that reared its ugly eye the other day, and I think I've got it under control a little bit now, but I just had to take some extra stuff and take some time away from the computer screen, which was doing a little bit of damage at the times and very hard to stare at. Hope you can understand that's where I've been for the past few days. Thank you for understanding, and remember, for great Nintendo entertainment, you can count on, I guess, us now. Bye.